go. Oh. Here we go. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just getting this sorted in here. I've done a vertical live tonight. Thought I would. Oh god, that audio. There we go. Hope everyone's all good. Hello, Blakesy. Hello, hello, hello. How's everyone doing? Let me just copy the link into the chat. Live here. Boom. This is a bit of a different live tonight. So after going through a lot of the boot camp now, I thought I'd do answering a few questions. So I'm going to run through a few questions which I've got and some answers to them, and then also going to run through just do a sort of Q&A section at the end as well. Let me just get this sorted. That's fine. Let me just move this over here. I did just. That's fine. Yeah, that's all right. But how is everyone? How was the party? It was good. It was good pie. Hello, Heath. How you doing, Heath? How is everything? I just want to make sure this has moved off there. I did accidentally just spill something. We're going to ignore that. Let me just move this round. There we go. That's all good. But how's everyone's Christmas? How is everything? There we go. That's perfect. Hello, Brandon. Hello, hello, hello. So again, we're going to be answering a few questions in this one. I've got a few questions prepared, and then if you've got any questions throughout, just in trading in general, then just let me know. But first off, how's everyone doing? I'm good, Brandon. I'm good. How's your Christmas been? I saw your little one in the Lamborghini earlier. Absolutely brilliant. That is class present. Just enjoying a nice glass of lovely red wine. Nice, Chris. Hello, Graham. Hello, NMA. Hello, 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 hello. All good, Max. All good. That's amazing to hear. Doesn't feel like a Saturday night every day rolling into one. Yeah, Katie, I definitely see that. This Christmas period's been, crazy. It's a crazy time for everyone, isn't it? But yeah, very, very crazy. Seeing family, seeing friends who I haven't seen in a while as well, which has been very, very good. But I hope everyone's had an amazing Christmas. You know, we've still got New Year very, very soon. I think a lot of people are looking forward to that. Leo's Lambo, what a G. Yeah, exactly, anime. I love it. He's got the SVJ. Oh, that's absolutely, that's amazing. Get him in a real one soon. Hello, Alex. Hello, hello, hello. He loves it, but I don't know. There was a speed button on it, so he was going too slow, then realised I could speed it up. Oh no, that'd be amazing. That'd be I'm not gonna lie. If I had a kid and I got them that, I would be in it 100%. I'd try and fit in it. Brandon, when you come to Dubai, when I say like Lambos here, I mean that. We'll get you in one of those. Honestly, one of those cruising around would be like modify it so you can fit in would be really fun. Hi, only 49-inch screen delivered today. Alan is on top of the world. I can imagine. That's brilliant. Feels like I haven't traded for a month. Yeah, I think time off, it can definitely throw you in a bit of a sort of spiral. I don't know. It doesn't feel like I've been at the charts in a while when it's only been like a few days really. So yeah, definitely looking forward to January. I'm really looking forward to January. I think it's gonna be very, very good. So yeah. Bella, we're going to be going over a few questions. So in this one, I'm going to be going over just common questions. So some very, very basic ones. I know you can't really. I'll try and pull that so you can. see it on this screen. I'll pull it there. And we're just going to be going through sort of common questions in this one and answering some questions at the end. So if you do have any questions, if you drop them in the chat, I'll happily go into detail. But there's a few which I definitely get asked a lot. And so I thought I'd go over them and give them a bit of context behind them and context behind the answers, which I do normally give. So that's what we're going to be doing tonight on sort of a boot camp live, kind of. Bit of a different setup though. Feel marking up chats on 49. I feel like I am in trading view. That's amazing, Alan. Hello, like always. Katie. That's amazing. Okay, so let's get into it. So first off, common question. I'm going to move this up just so you guys can see it here. Move this up. So how long, this is a question I get asked all of the time. How long will it take to become a millionaire in trading? Obviously, if you've been in the group for a while, you understand, stuff takes time. But I do still get asked this question a lot. So I thought I'd run through and sort of, go into detail on it. So how I normally answer it, basically, a long time with that specific mentality, okay? So becoming a millionaire is a big goal and takes a long time, okay? Instead of setting such a big goal off the bat, try setting yourself smaller goals. So this is what I normally say when I get asked this question. So I just thought I'd do it on a live so everyone can see how I answer these questions. So setting yourself small goals. So achieving 5+R a month consistently over 3 months. It's a great goal to have. Risk the same amount on every trade for a month. Another great goal to have. Journal every trading day for a month. Another great goal to have. In a hurdles race, I'm going to move these up here so you guys can see it. In a hurdles race, do you ever see them ask, how can I jump over the entire track? Because basically asking how long will it take to become a millionaire in trading straight off the bat is like asking, okay, how can I jump over all of the hurdles together? It's just not a question which is asked. And a very, very, very important point, which I'd like to highlight because it shows you that you shouldn't want to become a millionaire super quick from trading, is because, well, no, they focus on every single hurdle. But something which is really, really important is becoming a millionaire quickly is actually terrible. This is something which isn't spoken about enough. So when you see people saying like, oh yeah, get rich super quick, getting rich quick actually isn't good at all. Like, it's not a good thing to have happen to you. And you'll hear whispers of this and you'll hear this like occasionally in the space, but it's not really talked about subject in terms of why getting rich quickly isn't actually very good at all. And that's because you will have skipped all of the lessons needed to hold on to those millions, and it's just downhill from there. If you go into trading and you instantly like become a millionaire like super quick, you won't have built up the lessons needed to hold on to those millions and to compound them into more millions, and then you'll just go straight back to square one really. So getting rich like super quickly actually isn't good. You want to get rich slowly. It's the best thing to have happen to you, to get rich slowly, because making a lot of money super quick isn't very good. And this happened to me when I was younger. As a lot of you know, I was involved in crypto, and I made a lot of money, very quickly. Well, it was a lot of money to me then, and I made a lot of money very, very quickly. And then things just go tits up. I wasn't ready to make that amount of money at that age. I didn't have the skills to hold on to it. I didn't have the skills to turn it into more money. I had no idea what was going on, to be frank. And I'm super glad it happened, because it opened my eyes to, wait there, I need to actually build up these skills and take this slowly. Otherwise, whenever I do make a lot of money, I'm just gonna it's just going to disappear. Really, something which will come to light, because every single person in here, I'm very confident you will make a lot of money. But something which will have happen is, once you've made a lot of money, a new challenge comes into play, and it's holding on to that money. I just spilled a drink, so I'm just gonna put this here. But something which it will come to light, is actually holding on to that money is a whole new skill, okay? Making money is just one half of it. Actually holding on to that money and compounding it is equally as difficult. That's why lottery winners all end up skinned. And so I think a common things which we see from this, me just move this over. Common areas where we do see this is in people winning the lottery. Most of them end up going broke, and then also in sports. I don't know the stat. I think it's like 80%, something like this. 80% of athletes after the end of their career, they're broke within 5 years. And this is because they don't build up the skills to manage their money. And they're making a lot of money. So building up the skills to actually manage that money and continue to make it is why getting rich quick actually, it doesn't mean anything really, because you'll just end up losing it in most cases. So that should give you some comfort in getting rich slowly, because there really is no other way, because otherwise you won't be able to hold on to it. And holding on to money is something completely different. Don't know what to do, just blow it. Exactly. How do you say no to a needy family when you are starting to finally make gains? I mean, I didn't have this happen to me, so I don't really know how to answer that. I think just saying no. I had a few people like this feels taboo to even say, but like ask for money. And I still do have people who I don't know. But you've just got to like be respectful and say like, look, I don't know your situation, but there's other people who require this. And a lot of times giving people just straight up handing people money doesn't fix the problem, because the way they got into that sort of situation, chances are it will continue to happen again. So I've had people sort of, it feels like a taboo subject to even mention, but I've had people ask, but not family or close friends or anything like that. So I don't really know how I would handle that. Something which I did see, which was very, very, very smart, and I do agree with this, is when you do make good money, not giving out like loans to family members. Just give them money, because the moment you say, and this happened to me recently actually with someone, they needed a bit of money to do whatever, and I like this person, and so I gave them whatever money. And now, like, because they said they'd give it me back, it's like, okay, we've got like a payment plan, whatever, then they can't stick to it, and it's like annoying. If they just asked me, this is someone who I've done business with before, now they're struggling a little bit, but I really respect the person, it's fine, and I understand their situation, it's a bit of a not good situation, and so I'm like, okay, like, that's fine, do this. If they'd just been like, yo, like, I need this, just take it. I think it was a guy, he runs like a financial podcast. I've forgotten his name actually. He basically said never give loans to family, just give them money, because the moment you need to like get it back off them, that can cause really big friction. So that's something I've learned. Philanthropic. That's good to hear, Chris. That's good to hear. Oh. Brandon, you saw that. Yeah, my hair good few years ago now, I had it down to my shoulders. Very, very dark times. So yeah, it's like going on from what we're saying here, you've skipped all of the lessons needed to hold on to that million. It's like passing your driving test and going straight to the F1. Yes, you're in the F1, but you don't have the skills to maintain that level. So you'll quickly be pushed back down. In trading, you show the mentality of getting rich slowly, otherwise you won't really get rich at all. Okay, second question. This is what I got in the Discord. How to make money. Become an expert in something. There's no money in being just average at something. Become an expert, the best in the world at your system. Can be as simple as you want, just be the best at your little thing. Just find your little system, your little thing, and just become the best at it, okay? That is, in my opinion, how you make money. And there's a lot of other ways to make money, but I think a good sort of overall overarching theme is find something you are very good at, find your little thing, and just become an expert at it, okay? There's no money in not being an expert. Master something. And then a great quote which I had here, skip that. Mastery equals money. I think that's such a good quote. I get it for it. Oh, please don't, Brandon. If the next meetup you rock up in some jumper with that on, God, that should be banned from public eyes. Never mix business with pleasure. I completely agree with that. Once you're in the black and white days. Look, everyone has those phases, and yeah, when I was younger, I had really long hair. I do like that photo though of me next to the Ferrari, and then in Dubai. I think it's a really cool thing, and that shows, you know, you need to have set those goals. You need to have it in your head that you will make it to that next stage. So that's very important as well. Something that I don't really go through on here, but something which is important is setting those goals and being like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm going to do this. There's nothing that can stop me doing this. I'm going to do this. You need to have a bit of... I was speaking to Bella about this a little bit. And who else was I speaking to this about? Who else? I think it was a friend who's in property in the UK, actually. I think I spoke to Bella about this a while ago, and then recently a friend who's in property in the UK. He's doing very well for himself. Really nice guy. But I said you need to be a bit delusional. Like, you need to have a bit of that delusion, which is important. Also, never run a business with family members. Yeah, and this is something I've got asked a few times, like, why don't you get this person involved or this person to help? And it's because I've heard that quote a while, and I can't really explain like why. I probably could, but I just think it's nice to keep those things separate. I think most people misconception money. They make from trading, like even making your rent or even your food shop, is literally stepping up your game massively. 100%, 100%. I think that's a really good message from Brandon there. Yeah, 100%. Don't do procrastination work that seems productive but doesn't meet your immediate goals. 100%. I completely agree with that. Something I really like to do is wake up and focus on the highest ROI thing right now. So as soon as I wake up, like literally as soon, I get up and I open up the charts and I see what's going on, like throughout the week. That is the highest ROI thing I can do. Open up the charts, see what's going on. Then from there, like a priority tier list. And a lot of things can feel like you're doing a lot of work, exactly like Unique said there. It can feel like you're doing a lot of work, but are you actually doing a lot of work? Wake up each day. What's the highest ROI thing you can do today? I've gone from when I was younger and things were sort of starting to go well, I used to think in terms of long-term goals. And I think they are kind of important, but I think you don't know what's around the corner. You don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, next week, whatever. You know, like right now. So right now, what's the highest ROI thing you can do? I think that's an important mentality, an important framework to have. Or you're playing hard with Jay needs to say. What do you mean, Chris? It's a boot camp on trading and tax. Missed my fave. Oh, NMA, we did, it was a section of the boot, I don't know which one it was. I think it was like 2-3 days ago. It was just a very small section with regarding tax. It's something that I do get asked quite a bit about. And again, throughout this one, if you've got any questions, this is mainly just a Q&A one. So going over a few of the most common questions I get asked. So if you do have any questions regarding trading or anything around trading during this live, then please don't hesitate to drop me a message, drop me a comment on here, and I'll happily go into detail. So here's a very common question I get asked, and it is where to put a stop loss, okay? And in very basic terms, look to the left of your chart on the time frame you use to mark up the chart. Put your stop loss under candle bodies below the level that you entered from. So whatever level you entered from, look to the left-hand side of your chart, find some candle bodies, find a low, and put it under there. And I'm going to go into more detail here. Stop loss, you will learn by them getting hit, which is very important. There's no... If stop loss was objective, if the best place to put your stop loss was super objective, institutions would know exactly where to target to grab that liquidity. Okay, so just by thinking about it, okay, if there was an objectively best system to put your stop loss, then institutions would know exactly where stop losses are and be able to grab that liquidity. So there's no objectively best way. It comes from just placing a stop loss, seeing if it gets hit, if it doesn't get hit, and then slowly modifying it over time. Do you need a tighter stop loss? Do you need a wider stop loss? That is how you really come up with the best way to find your stop loss. There is no best thing for stop loss. There really isn't. I get this question so much, but the best way to do it is to just slap it under the level that you entered from, and then from there, see how it performs over time and adjust it accordingly. That is the only answer that can be given in this in this question. You can give some objective answers, but they're just going to be nowhere near as good as just testing it. It really isn't. Yeah, that's Brandon. That's the saying which I normally give is when someone says about where to put a stop loss and what is a stop loss. A stop loss is simply where your idea behind the trade becomes invalidated. Okay, if your trade idea makes sense here, okay, this doesn't make sense. That's where your stop loss goes. When it invalidates yourself. For example, very, very common, if you think we're going to continue in a bullish uptrend, then if we break the low, we've broke that trend. So chances are you should be out at that low. That's where your setup becomes invalidated. So that's the explanation which I give most often. I work in taxes and personally would never use an accountant, but I get why people do. Okay. NMA, are they? I think you said that before. We did. This came up on a live a while ago, didn't it? And I remember you saying that. I remember you saying that before. So we were crazy as China is restricting supply and in control 70% of the market. To say, I think. What did we see? I think some people were talking about silver in the Discord. Silver comes up every sort of few days, and has done over the past year. And it's performed. My outlook on silver is the same. It's not the best to trade, but it's a great long-term investment. Well, it has been, especially over the past year. And I've said that every time, and I continue to say that. I think silver's a very, very, very great just investment long-term. But just day trading it isn't very nice. Give stop loss breathing room. 100%. The markets are full of emotion, okay? One large trader having sort of an emotional outburst, I guess, can really mess up your trade. It doesn't mean your trade idea is wrong. It just means that someone's had a bit of a tantrum. Yeah. CP, so to TP for stop loss X. No, EV, no, like objective ways to do it like that, you're limiting profitability. Doing things like, okay, I'm going to put my stop loss here and I'm going to target purely 1 to 2. It's not the best. For keeping things objective, it's pretty good. But if you want to squeeze the most profit out of a trade, it's not the way to go. Oh, good, Matthew. Basically, we're going over common questions, Matthew, that I get asked a lot. The next one is... yeah, try, fail, learn, succeed. I think that's a great quote. We're going to go over into fair value gap, and then the next one, this is a question that was asked in the Discord, and then the next one we're going to go over is a really, really, really good question, which I really, really like. But again, throughout this live, if you've got any questions, just going over the most common questions I get asked. And yeah, so let me know if you've got any questions, and I'll happily go into detail on them. I wouldn't, because I understand a bit about taxes, but if you're not able to / don't have the time to learn it and do your own accounting, then definitely employ an accountant. Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that. But for most people, having the time to go through it is probably not... I mean, actually, for most people, they probably can, because most people isn't as big of an operation, if that makes sense. So for most people, it's actually probably better. All good, Aaron. So what is a fair value gap? Onto the charts, okay. So this is a question which comes up a lot. I mean, they're very, very popular in the trading space. So I'm basically going to go over a few examples of fair value gaps. So fair value gaps basically show imbalance in the charts. And I get a lot of questions regarding what a fair value gap is. So a fair value gap is very simply it's a 3-candle pattern, and it's going from if we're looking for a bullish fair value gap, it's from the candle high to the 3rd candle's low. So if you're looking for a area of support, it's from a candle high to the 1st candle's high to the 3rd candle's low. So for example, here, the first candle's high, the third candle's low. Like here. The first candle's high, the third candle's low. And again, here. The first candle's high, the second candle's low. That's for like bullish fair value gaps. So fair value gaps which are used for support. And then for resistance, I mean, it's hard to find any red candles. But for resistance, it would be candle low. So the first candle's low to the third candle's high. First candle's low, third candle's high. Okay? And then for buys, it would be first candle's high, third candle's low. And then for sells, there's not many red candles. But again, first candle's low, third candle's high. That's basically what a fair value gap shows. Let me know if you want me to go over a few more examples of those. I get a lot of questions regarding what a fair value gap is, but that is literally it. Where's my... So yeah. Let me know if you've got any questions on those. I do get asked a lot of questions on those, so I thought I'd run through what a fair value gap actually is. I don't personally use them in my trading. However, I understand a lot of people do, and it's just good to know about what they are. So fair value gap shows basically imbalance in the charts, and if we pass through an area, it's like imagine you're mowing grass. This is how I think of it. Imagine we'll go over this example. So imagine you're mowing grass, okay? So you're mowing up here, then you're mowing down here, then you're mowing up here, then you're mowing down here, and then you're mowing up here, and then you just you push the lawnmower quickly over a section of grass. It's still got, it's not as cut as the other grass. So you want to come back down and recut that grass. Basically, it shows imbalance in the charts, and institutions want to make sure that level is actually strong. So they come back, they normally revisit those areas. That's how I think of it. So basically, we pass over an area quickly, showing institutions want to move price up very fast, forming imbalance on the chart, which price is likely to gravitate back towards and likely to get a bounce from. Yeah, Julian, exactly. So if we were to come up to a bearish fair value gap, one would assume that we're going to get a rejection from it. Again, I don't use fair value gaps, but that's what they are. They can be used in your trading, as added confluence. A lot of people use them with golden pockets, volume levels, etc. as added confluence. I know Jay in the group who made I think he made 30,000-40,000 last month, 30,000-40,000 the previous month. He's made well over 6 figures in the past few months. He uses fair value gaps with, I believe, golden pockets, and then just looks for a divergence on Fu Manchu, and that's basically his system. So using them as confluence can be very good in your trading. Yeah, Chris, there's quite a few different tools on TradingView to automatically draw out fair value gaps for you. That's good, Matthew. That's really, really good. That's really, really good. And look, if you haven't looked into them, then giving them a look, it might be the edge you need in trading. They are very, very simple and very objective and very easy to use. So it could be the thing which sets you off. Which fair value gap is valid? So they're all valid, but the lowest one, the one which is the closest to the bottom. So for example, this is the bottom, this is a low here. The one which is closest to this low is often the most respected, but it's normally the one that has the most confluence as well. It depends on the system you're using. If you're only using fair value gaps, then probably the lowest one. But if you're using it in confluence with other things, then it's the fair value gap which lines up with the most things. Yeah, Rashid, you can get this on you can get TradingView on your phone. Definitely. Cal Freezy. But yeah, let me know if you've got any trading questions, anything, and we'll go into detail. So this next one is a very important question. Very important. So why is trading so difficult? Okay, there's a lot of answers to this one, but I think the best one is trying to objectify emotion. Now we're going to go into a bit of an interesting analogy, for this one. But I do believe this is one. It's a unique one. I could say exactly like Matthew said, mindset. I think that is definitely one of the top reasons, definitely. But I wanted to give a slightly different answer, and it's something which I do believe causes the most pain. Once you've sort of learned risk management and you learned like the basics, this is definitely something which I see come up all of the time, and it's something which has happened to me, and it's trying to objectify emotion, trying to objectify everything. Okay, and this is where the weird analogy comes in, but I think it really sums it up. So in the Matrix, again, this sounds crazy, but just hear me out. In the Matrix, the agents, like Agent Smith and the Oracle, like the old woman, if you've watched the Matrix, can't see past a choice they don't understand. Okay, so that's why like the whole Matrix gets shut down. They can't see past a choice they don't understand. And so they spend thousands of years trying to quantify humans, trying to code their emotions, but never really succeed, and it's eventually their downfall. So the reason basically it goes wrong, and the reason they have to continue to reset, if you watch the Matrix movie, then at the end, basically they've got to like reset the full world, like, and they have to do it every time. And this is because they can't fully code human emotion. Okay, yeah, spoiler alert. They can't fully code human emotion. They can't code it. Okay, so it always goes wrong. And stop trying to make everything as objective as possible, basically. Yeah, stop trying to make everything as objective as possible. Be a bit free-flowing. You're a human. In most cases, losing traders try to be robots. You're born with a skill that no computer can compete with and no programmer can code. Okay? Intuition. You can't explain why, but you just know. This is what makes you profitable, and this is what makes trading so hard. So again, expanding on that point, the reason I think trading is so difficult for so many people is because they try and quantify everything. They try and be super, super, super objective. They try and be a robot, and they negate the innate skill which they've been born with of human intuition. Something you can't code, you can't quantify, you can't turn it into some system. If you made trading your system super objective, then you'd just be able to code it, turn it into a bot and print money. But as we know, retail bots, they really don't work. And so what makes you actually profitable is being able to determine through intuition when to use a system and when to not use a system. That is what makes you profitable, because a bot, a robot, would just use the system every single time. That's their biggest pro, but that's their biggest con. As a human, we don't have to use the system every time. We can choose when to use it and when to not use it. That is what makes humans profitable. So trying to objectify things constantly and trying to turn yourself into a robot at the charts, look, for risk management, it's brilliant. Be a robot, okay? But for your actual system, allowing your literally born talent of intuition to come into play and learn when to use something and when to not use something will make you more profitable. Okay, trying to be a robot doesn't work. Let me know if you've got any questions on that. I know that's kind of it's definitely a point which not a lot of people talk about in the trading space. And the very, very simple reason you don't hear this in the trading space is because if someone sat down and said, look, I'm going to tell you a system, but it's up to you to figure out and learn when to use it and when to not use it. Like that, you can't really sell that as a course. You can't sell that as a golden ticket. So that is literally the reason you don't see that in the trading space, plain and simple. If people were honest, then this is what it is. If someone had the perfect system, like they could just wrap it up in a box and give it to you and it'd be able to work for anyone. But that doesn't happen. Like, it doesn't happen. Simple as that. And so we can determine from that what makes it actually profitable is when to use it and when to not use it. And again, you won't see this, you won't hear this from anyone else really in the trading space, because you can't sell a golden system. You can't get someone to like buy a course, you can't get someone to listen to your golden system if you preface it by saying, look, it's how you use it and when you use it that actually makes it fully profitable. And there are better systems than others, in my opinion, and the better systems allow you to use that intuition. They make it very simple. For example, my system is very simple in terms of I put levels on the chart. I don't care about what price is doing between the levels. When we hit those levels, that's when I can use my intuition and look at my look at the charts, look at the confirmations, and see, okay, I have seen a level like this hit thousands of times. Will it be respected? Will it not be respected? That's where the actual profitability comes in my opinion. I'm still in a position wanting 3 indicators, so looking at essential package. Okay, cool. Is this on TradingView? They're on TradingView. They're constantly running offers and everything, especially over Christmas. I don't know how expensive. I think it is very relatively inexpensive, and it does make it very, very easy. You know, having just I think on the normal version of TradingView, you've only got access to like 2 indicators. If you do use more than 2 indicators, it can be a bit of a pain. So it's definitely worth the investment. So this is a common question I get asked as well. So just running through a few of the most common questions which I see. If you do have any other questions regarding trading on the whole, then please don't hesitate to drop me a comment on here and let me know. If you are enjoying the live as well, double tapping the screen does help spread around the lives. Okay, that's a good shout, Bella. That's really good. For now, if unsure, wait for the second. That's great. Yeah, that's really good, Matthew. If you're not 100% sure, the best thing to do is to sit it out 100%. Warrior who watches Catalyst and uses scanners to watch for volatility. Sounds good. Tracking volatility is very good. Using things like ATR to average true range, that is to track volatility. I do think looking at volatility is very good, especially determining using that to determine how big or small your stop loss is. Because obviously not very volatile conditions, having a tighter stop loss is more adequate. Whereas in more volatile positions, you need to account for that volatility by having a wider stop loss. So that sounds good. Okay, so on this question, will gold come down? I get this all the time, like when are we shorting gold? When's gold going to come down? And another analogy, a lot of analogies tonight, guys. But imagine a car is speeding down a road. You make money if it continues, and you make money if it stops and goes the other way, okay? Chances are it will continue. Just go with the flow, okay? If gold or if any asset you're trading is just flying to the upside, trying to catch the top is not a very good idea. And I'm saying this as we head into next week. I do believe that gold will continue to the upside. I think the fundamentals are extremely strong. And so I think we will continue to the upside. And so entering, trying to short that market, especially with like day intraday / swing trades, is probably not the best idea. That's not to say that you can't make money from shorting gold over the next weeks, months, years, whatever. You definitely can. But just going with the most high probability trades, and I'm saying this because a lot of people tend to try and short it. And so just be careful, with gold, it's absolutely gunning it to the upside. The fundamentals are very, very, very strong for gold right now. It's a really fast car going in one direction. Are you going to bet on the car stopping and just suddenly going the other way? Or are you going to bet on the car just continuing in the direction it's already going? I'm saying this as a preface to next week, as gold is extremely high right now, but that does not mean it can't continue to go higher. Steph, if there is a pullback, look, I'm going to take full advantage of it. I don't think it will be any meaningful pullback, though. I think, obviously, little pullbacks come every single day. I don't think it'll be anything crazy. I see you and have another golden pocket expected tomorrow morning. How do you predict it will suddenly drop to there? I'm not predicting it will suddenly drop to there. I'm saying if it does drop to there, then I'll do this. So we'll go to the chart. So basically, I've got, which chart am I using? Here we go. So I've got this level on my chart right now. It's a nice golden pocket point of control. I'm not saying price will come down to here. I'm saying if it does, I'll look for buy positions here. So this isn't like price. I'm not saying by having this buy position on, I'm in no way saying that price is going to come down here. In no way at all. Like, I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying if price does come down here, then I'll be looking for a buy position. Let me know if that makes sense. I'm nay. And yeah. Two in the metals. The House of Trade. I don't see a lot of people talking about that, to be honest. Do you? Who's the House of Trade? Do you actively trade that? Are you in swing positions on it? So you would buy there and not sell towards. Definitely, I'm now. I wouldn't. Definitely wouldn't sell towards. Definitely wouldn't sell towards. No, I don't sell or buy towards any levels. Ever. Tomorrow, please. Aaron, I'll put it in on. It's still Saturday, isn't it? Just to confirm. Yeah. I'll put it out on Sunday night. Aaron, I'll go live Sunday night, marking up the charts and coming up with a plan for Monday. And then I'll put my full rundown in the private group after that. Okay, I'm Nate. That's a great thing to clarify. I'm Nate. That's a great thing to clarify. So I really appreciate you bringing that up. I'm Nate. So when I put on buy positions, I'm not saying price is going to come down to that buy position. I'm saying if it comes down, then I'll be looking for a buy. So that's a very good point. I'm Nate. Very good point. When you identify a level, do you set limit order to get straight away, or do you wait for confirmations and potentially get a worse price, risk to reward, or mixture of both? Graham, mixture of both. So what I do is when price comes down, I'll look for confirmations as we're approaching the level. So you get telltale signs as we approach the level that it's going to be respected. So as we approach the level, I want to see divergences. So a lot of times when you hear me say divergences, I don't mean divergences as we hit the level. I want to see divergences and confirmations before we hit the level. So then when we hit the level, it's very strong. It's like, you're a car driving really fast and you've got a corner at the end. You don't turn as you hit the corner. You put on the brakes and you get ready to turn the corner. There's telltale signs that you are going to take that exit. Imagine you're going down a motorway. You can tell who's going to turn off. They're putting on their brakes, they're dropping gear, they're getting into the left-hand lane, they're indicating. There's telltale signs that they're going to take that turn off. When we approach the level, there's telltale signs in price that we are going to react from that level. It's putting on the brakes, it's forming divergences, etc. So then I'll place limit orders at that level. So as soon as we get to that level, I'm filled. And then a lot of the time now I've been setting limit orders, but then I'll leave a bit of the position off to give me a bit of flexibility. So leaving a bit of the position off allows me to either extend stop loss while still maintaining the same amount of risk, or it allows me to add to the position when we're at the level or when we've gone, when we've reacted off the level. It gives me a bit more flexibility, which I do like. I don't want to be in a trade just set, okay, I've got my stop loss there, I've got this, I can't do anything. I like a bit of flexibility. I like, okay, I can add stuff here. I can move my stop loss a bit here. Okay, I can take off here. Okay, I like a bit of flexibility at the charts. Max, did you mark up on 30-minute time frame? Yeah, I either marked up on the 30-minute or 24-minute. I don't trade binary. Binary options are terrible. Very not good. Beauty, right now, it'd be difficult with market being closed. But beauty, my answer to that is stick with your system. Whatever system you've had, whatever system you've got, if that's giving you a buy opportunity, then go with that. If that's giving a sell opportunity, then go with that. If I just say buy now or sell now, without a stop loss, without take profit, without sort of my reasoning behind the trade, it's fairly useless. In one of your boot camps, I saw you mentioned your indicators being Fu Manchu and the ColezTrades indicator. What is this one? So I'm Nate. The Fu Manchu is this indicator here. Indicators, something which is very important with indicators, they don't show you anything new at the chart. They just show you price action in a more visibly appealing format. There's no indicators which show you what price is going to do. They show you what you can already see through candlesticks in a maybe nicer format. And so that's what Fu Manchu does. It doesn't show me anything like, it doesn't predict price, but it shows me momentum, it shows me money flow, shows me those things. So that's one. And the second one is the ColezTrades indicator, which is on in the Discord. So if you go in the Discord and you scroll down to the ColezTrades indicator section, you can get it on your chart. So it's like you can just get it on your chart. And basically that shows some support and resistance, which I use. So it shows VWAP levels, it shows daily open, it shows like 4-hour daily, weekly support and resistance. Just some objective support and resistance levels, which I use as confluence with Fibonacci and volume levels to gain very, very high probability areas. Like this one, like that one. I mean, I forgot. I think I've recently switched to this chart, so there's not much on this chart. If we go back to the other one though. Like these, like this exact bottom here, this exact top here, this exact top, this exact bottom, this bottom, this bottom, this top, this top, this top here, like levels like those. Just get this up here. You sure? I don't trade Ethereum. I don't think gold looks bearish at all. I think it's just formed an all-time high. I don't think it looks bearish in one bit. Yeah, it doesn't highlight zones, but it shows like support and resistance of the chart. So like very basic support and resistance that you can use with confluence with other things. Same as mine, looking at level 487. Do you mean how did I get that level, Matthew? Let me just make this a bit bigger so you guys can see. There we go. Hope that's a bit better. But yeah, this level is basically a point of control / golden pocket. So point of control is the highest volume node in a given range. So it's obviously a very, very important level. And then golden pocket is a Fibonacci retracement level. Basically shows a nice pullback. Okay, nice, Matthew. Viper, so gold, and then I do trade Bitcoin as well, but Bitcoin over the past few months has just been super low liquidity, super low volatility. I think trading one, maximum 2 pairs really is the way to go. I think splitting your focus between loads of different pairs isn't really the way to go. There's enough money to be made, more than enough, far more than enough to be made on one pair. And chances are you'll make more money off one pair than you will trading 10 pairs. Definitely a huge tip, especially when getting into trading. Looking at one pair, maybe 2 pairs is the way to go. Jono, most of the time, naked points of control from session volume profile do get hit most of the time. They want to be respected. Like the market wants to test them. Good, Matthew. Liquidity. So there's 2 different types of liquidity. There's internal liquidity and external liquidity. So internal liquidity is liquidity like within the range, like I say, within the range. But most people, when they're talking about liquidity, they're talking about external liquidity. External liquidity rests above and below highs and lows. So for example, liquidity is just orders. That's all liquidity is. When you see people talking about liquidity, liquidity is all over the chart. It's just orders. And liquidity is important because it allows you to get in and out of a position. So for example, I mean, I could just give one of the charts, but liquidity is very important because let's say you wanted to sell your house, okay? There's not a lot of people who are willing to buy up your house super, super quickly. It takes time. It's hard to get in and out of your house's position, okay? So it's not very liquid. Whereas if you wanted to buy and sell gold, for instance, you could take any gold jewelry down to a pawn shop and get it sold instantly. It's very, very liquid. And so big institutions love liquidity because a big problem institutions have isn't profiting, it's getting in and out of the market. They can't just click buy and can't just click sell because they've got such huge orders. They have to slowly enter positions, slowly exit positions. They have to target areas of liquidity to actually fill those orders. So that's why liquidity is so important. But there's liquidity throughout the market. There's orders everywhere. There's liquidity here, 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 everywhere. It's just that above and below lows, external liquidity is where most of the liquidity tends to lie, according to most people who talk about liquidity, which isn't fully true, but that's a story for another day. Thing is, I wish gold needs some 1,000 pip retracement. You draw last trend line break and go down and sell, then go next week. Look, Zish, if gold drops by 1,000 pips, I'm fine with that. More opportunity to buy. But I think gold's absolutely booming to the upside, trying to short something which has that much momentum and very good fundamentals right now is very, very, very risky. Vipin, I appreciate that, mate. And if you've got any other questions, please let me know. I do go live every single day from Sunday to Thursday, most of the time at 8 PM UK time. Over December, it's very difficult. I'm sort of all over the place. And I do a bootcamp live. I have done a bootcamp live every single day throughout December, and it's something I'm going to look to continue. Maybe not every day though. I think I'm going to do like 2 days. So I'm going to do my normal live at 8 PM Sunday to Thursday where I mark up the charts. And I'm going to do 2 lives a week, which is on a very specific educational topic. And then we're also going to do a few other cool lives in there, which I 100% guarantee you will enjoy and definitely learn a lot from. I'm really looking forward to those. Timerson, yeah, so I do, if this happens, this happens. So in trading, I mentioned it on last night's bootcamp, but if I say, do this, that's very emotional, isn't it? Whereas if I say, if do this, it's very coordinated, it's very professional, there's not much emotion in it. In trading, I never do this. I always set up a plan, okay? If we do this, I do this. If we do this, I do this. And when gold is absolutely booming to the upside, I want to get in on nice retracements. So if we pull back, then I'm going to look to get in. I'm not just going to get in. If we do this, I do this. That's what trading is for everyone, really. It's if we do this, we do this. It's just a bunch of if statements. Gene, you want me to go into detail on volume profiles? I think just sticking with one, Vipin, would be probably the best. I don't know your experience in trading, but sticking to one, learning that one pair, learning how it moves, it just makes things easier for you. You don't need to enter loads of trades to literally go full-time trading. Someone, I bring them up as a case study a lot, but someone in the community which I run, he's going full-time trading, you know, made multi-6 figures, I think, well, definitely over 6 figures in the last few months. And he didn't trade last month until the 19th of the month. He took like, I don't know, I think 3-5 trades, something like this. You don't need to take a lot of trades to make a serious amount of money. And so one pair allows you to focus on the best setups. And then also it makes it easier for you to know what news affects it, know what everything. If you've got multiple pairs, then it's going to be very difficult for you to know, okay, I've got this news coming out, I need to be aware of this impacts it, this impacts it, this impacts it, I need to mark up this chart, I've got this level, I've got this level, I've got these alerts, this little, it's crazy. Having one pair means that, okay, we're here. I know that this news affects it, my overall bias is this, if this happens, do this, if this happens, do this. It's very nice, it's very simple, okay? So that's what I believe for majority of people will work out the best. Zishan. Okay, nice. which is strategy for trading. So I use basically top-down analysis. So I come to the charts. I've got like my higher time frame, my midterm time frame, my lower time frame for confirmations, and then higher time frame basically just for bias. Midterm time frame, I mark up levels using confluence. So I pair up Fibonacci levels, volume levels, daily open, previous day high, previous day low, previous day points of control, trend lines, whatever it may be. Point of control, value area high, value area low, whatever it is, to gain areas of confluence. Now, what is an area of confluence? An area of confluence is basically a small area where a lot of things line up. Okay, imagine you're going through a hallway, okay, and then there's one door. Chances are most people in here could break through that door, okay? If you're going down a hallway and there's multiple doors stacked on top of each other, it's going to be very difficult for you to break through all of those 3 doors. I see the chart as a hallway, okay? And each area of support and resistance is a door. Now, when we come to an area of confluence, that's an area where multiple doors are lining up. So it's going to be very difficult for price to just pass through that level. So I can anticipate a bounce from that level, which I'm then going to utilize to enter a position and profit from. Bro, you are from? So I'm from around Birmingham. I currently live in Dubai, but I'm back in Birmingham for the holidays, seeing family and everything. But I am back in Dubai before New Year. Can you switch over the fib extension? Just would be to see how you do it compared to how I do it, please. So I don't use fib extension too much. Now, fib extension can be used you can use it to find areas of support and resistance, but that's getting into some weird territory. But you can use it definitely to highlight areas to potentially take profit from, especially in swing trade. So I don't have it saved to my main toolbar here. I don't use it often at all, trend-based fib extension. So what you can basically do is drag it from, to look for areas to take profit in a buy position. What you can do is drag it from a low to a high, back to a low. So you've gone from this low here to this high here to this low. This is basically bullish market structure, okay? We formed a low, a high, and a higher low. This then gives you fib extension levels, which you can see here. Fib extension level number 1 was perfectly respected, and it gives you nice areas to look to take profit. I haven't got all the levels on because I really just care about the 1.618 level. But that's what it's basically used for. And when we are in price discovery mode, I do use it to look for areas to cut down the position. So I'll have them on my chart and I'll take parts of the position on. As you know, I don't ever really close a full position. I always leave partials on to run. So I'm currently marking up. This is on TradingView. Everyone. Hello, Sunday, Emmanuel. Hello. Do you do any live streams of working the chart during key times to show how you figure things out when you would enter, etc.? Yeah, exactly. I'm Nate. So on a night, I look at what's going to happen. So on a night when I'm marking up my charts, I don't just go over what's happened during the day. I come with a plan with what I'm going to do going forward. So every night, Sunday to Thursday, I mark up my charts. You can see them on the live. So all of the levels here, all of the bottoms, tops, which have been called, they've all been given live. So you can go back through and see. So when I say yeah, we have the exact bottom of the day marked up, you can go and see that I marked it up live. So it's not like I'm going over hindsight, I'm going over what I'm looking for in the future, and I do utilize those levels in the next day or the next few days to take trades from. And then I have done, I think not this month, last month, I was going live at New York Open, which is obviously a very important time, and I was going live over there. And that's something I will do going forward as well. It's just in December, it's a very difficult time to fit everything in, as you can imagine. Vipen, on the in the description on YouTube, you can click on the Telegram thing there and drop me a message. I'll send you a few over, mate. But yeah, Anyway, I think we'll finish up this live here. I hope everyone enjoyed it. Went through a few key questions on this live. It was like half boot camp live, half normal live. I did say I would go live every single day in December, and so I want to stay true to that. And I was getting a lot of the same questions, so I wanted to go over a few of those questions and hopefully spark a few ideas that you can sort of take away from this. So I hope you've enjoyed the live. I hope you got some good value from it. I've enjoyed all of the questions. There's been some absolutely brilliant questions on tonight. And again, I really, really hope everyone has had a great time over Christmas. I know a lot of you haven't been at the charts, but it's important, this time away from the charts is as important as time on the charts. That clear mindset is really, really nice to have. And I'm hoping that going into the new year, you've all got a nice, clear head. You've spent time with family, spent time with loved ones, or done whatever over Christmas. And you're ready to approach 2026 with that clear, amazing trading mindset and just absolutely crush it. So I really appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate all the questions, and I hope everyone has an amazing rest of your Christmas. So take care, guys. Have an amazing night. See you in a bit. I'm Nay. Some great questions tonight as well. I'm Nay. Really, really, really good work, mate. See you in a bit, Katie. See you in a bit, Drew. Heath. Absolute legend. Alan, Matthew, who else have we had here? Bella, legend. Forex, mate. Obviously, Alan's a beast as well. Matthew, everyone's amazing on this live. But yeah, take care, guys. Have an absolutely amazing